You are lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. You are physically exhausted, but your brain is running a loud, frantic loop of a half-written email from work, an unfinished project on your desk, or an unresolved argument from dinner. This anxiety is a predictable psychological glitch known as the Zeigarnik Effect. Our brains are hardwired to remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks much better than completed ones. This creates a literal cognitive burden. It explains why attempting to juggle multiple tasks at once causes our performance to tank, and why fixating on unfulfilled goals can trigger feelings of imposter syndrome. There are specific strategies used to manage this tension and clear the mental clutter, but we are not going to look at them yet. We are going to leave that question completely unanswered for now. To understand how to silence that mental static, we have to trace this phenomenon back to the moment it was first observed. In the 1920s, a Lithuanian Soviet psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik sat down in a bustling cafe with her professor, Kurt Lewin. They watched the waitstaff navigate the chaos. These waiters had a bizarre ability to memorize massive, complex orders without writing anything down. But Zeigarnik and Lewin noticed a strange pattern. The exact second the customer paid the bill, the waiter's memory of that complex order vanished. Lewin and Zeigarnik hypothesized that the unpaid status of the bill was the key. The lack of closure was actively holding the details in the waiter's working memory. They realized human memory prioritizes unresolved tension over completed history. Our brains treat an unpaid social debt or an unfinished task as an active threat that must be actively tracked until the loop is closed. To test this, Zeigarnik moved to the laboratory in 1927. She assigned participants a series of puzzles, deliberately interrupting them exactly halfway through their work. When she asked the participants an hour later to recall the details of their assignments, the interrupted tasks had created a measurable internal tension, making those uncompleted elements far more cognitively accessible than the tasks they were allowed to finish. Your brain treats unfinished work like an open browser tab, constantly consuming working memory. These lingering open loops drain your bandwidth, even acting as unresolved social debts that erode trust. However, this tension also drives your creative muse and boosts learning. The Zeigarnik Effect is a self-sustaining engine. Managed correctly, it provides a steady stream of creative energy. Left unchecked, it fills your working memory with background noise. We can close that loop now by applying 3 specific techniques to manage this cognitive tension. First, use the just start rule. Dedicating just 5 to 10 minutes to a daunting task forces the brain to open the mental loop. Once the loop is open, the brain's natural aversion to unfinished business makes you more likely to finish the work. Second, try stopping mid-flow. When you are writing or designing, pause before you reach a natural stopping point. Because the task is incomplete, your subconscious will continue mulling over the problem while you are away from your desk. Third, write down your plans. If you need to step away from a project, drafting a highly specific plan for what you will do next provides the brain with the artificial closure it craves. Research suggests that committing to a completion plan releases much of the cognitive burden of the unfulfilled goal, freeing up mental resources for rest or entirely different pursuits. By understanding how our memory holds on to unfinished business, we can consciously orchestrate our mental open loops, transforming everyday anxiety into a tool for